We have a massive update on Pascal Siakam, as a report has come out that reveals his master plan for the future of his NBA career. Because if people aren't familiar, his contract expires at the end of the season, so he can be an unrestricted free agent and decide to whatever team he wants to go to. And obviously, he is currently at the center of a lot of trade discussions across the NBA. So, given the fact he can leave any team he gets traded to in free agency potentially this summer, he has a lot of sort of control about what could potentially happen to him via trade or if he was willing to stay with the Toronto Raptors. So now we have some insight in terms of what Pascal Siakam actually wants, given the fact a lot of people have been making bold claims about Pascal's sort of intentions. Holding the Toronto Raptors hostage has been language I've seen thrown at Pascal Siakam a lot, and things along those lines. So this kind of dispels a lot of the crazy narratives going on around Pascal and gives us some insight into what's actually going on. And we also have some details revealed about actual trade packages that were offered to Pascal, deeper than we have in previous reports. So lots of stuff to dive into in this video. But before we do that, folks, again, if you're part of the 57% of viewers on our channel that haven't subscribed, I mean, it would mean the world to me if you guys could hit that subscribe button so we can keep you up to date with all of the latest Toronto Raptors news. But let's dive into this report and everything that's going on, because the big thing that dropped today was basically this report coming from Sam Amick saying that Pascal Siakam is seeking a full-term max contract and doesn't view Sacramento as a good long-term fit. Siakam is seeking a full-term max salary deal no matter where he ultimately lands. And while Siakam has not asked for a trade, the sources say he doesn't view the Kings as a good long-term fit if the Raptors were to choose to move him. So basically, that's a lot of details that have been revealed in terms of this situation, in terms of what's going on here. So basically, Pascal Siakam is unwilling to sign that sort of 2-year deal, which would facilitate a trade very nicely for the Toronto Raptors. And frankly, I do not blame him. Pascal Siakam right now is going to be 30 years old once he signs this next deal, unless it's in a contract extension. So frankly, this is kind of the age where you got to maximize your value, maximize the amount of years. So you never know how injuries might pop up. You never know how the course of your career may go. Pascal Siakam has earned through his play a maximum contract. And unless you're the LeBron Jameses of the world, where even if you completely fall off a map, you can still get a max contract even if you're super washed just based off your name. Unless you're that level of star, Pascal Siakam just doesn't have that guarantee that max money is going to be there year after year. Now, he's improved pretty well every season. Pascal is an absolute beast. This is not me saying he's going to regress, year 4 of this deal or anything like that. But it also guarantees it doesn't. It's me saying that 2 years from now, we're not sure that a team would be willing to give him a 5-year, $260 million contract or something like that. Siakam wants to cash in on the guaranteed money he's able to earn right now, and frankly, he deserves it. This is what he should be doing. So this makes complete sense. So for the people that are out here calling Siakam as a saboteur to the Toronto Raptors because he's unwilling to sort of agree to a shorter term deal which could mess his money up in the long-term future, that's just stupid. That's a stupid take. Pascal Siakam is not sabotaging the Toronto Raptors. The only things we've heard in reports, we've heard in basically Pascal Siakam speaking to the media, has been that he wants to be on the Toronto Raptors. He wants to see this team grow. So we should appreciate that. He's doing everything he can to sort of get that contract, especially if it's from the Toronto Raptors. But regardless of where it's from, he wants to make sure his family, his money is secured, which makes complete sense. So this narrative that Siakam is sabotaging the Toronto Raptors has to get thrown out the window right away. But another really interesting part of this, which is encouraging, has been Pascal Siakam has not asked for a trade, and is willing to wants that contract whether or not he signs with the Raptors or somewhere else. Because basically there has been speculation that maybe he would stay with the Toronto Raptors, but on a shorter term deal to see how things play out about his future. No, Pascal Siakam has no real desire to leave Toronto. He wants that contract. That's his primary focus, especially if it's from the Toronto Raptors. He's not looking for a trade to put himself into a team that has more bird rights, that they can give him, that contract a little bit easier. No. Pascal Siakam is interested in playing for the Toronto Raptors. It doesn't say, hey, this is the only team he's willing to play for or things like that. But if the Toronto Raptors are going to have to keep him, then it's going to have to be on one of those 5-year maxes, which frankly makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of sense why that Kings deal fell through, because he basically said that Sacramento, he doesn't view them as a good long-term fit. So Again, I saw a comment saying I'm roasting the city of Sacramento. I like Sacramento. I've said that it's not a glamour destination. Not a lot of free agents end up going there, but I think Sacramento's a fine team, a fine place. They have a lot of good players. It could be a cool fit. So Pascal Siakam saying he doesn't want to be there long term basically indicates to me that he's either wanting to go to like a bigger market or stay with the Toronto Raptors. So I mean, what that actually means for this Raptors group is we're going to have to give him that 5-year money. If Masai Ujiri has no interest in taking a risk that Pascal might be horrible, 3-4 years down the line, then he's going to have to trade him, even if it's for pennies on the dollar. I think that's the wrong assessment. Again, the players, the front office knows more than we do, just given the fact they see them every day, can predict injury future. And Siakam's been relatively healthy, knock on wood for the future, but for, over the course of his career. So I think it makes sense to give him that money, to give him that contract here. But we also have some other details that have come out, because basically, Pascal Siakam was also rumored for this Kings trade and everything that's going on, and more details surrounding this package have been revealed, because the Sacramento Kings package for Pascal Siakam was reportedly centered around Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, as well as Davion Mitchell, and a first-round pick. I've heard that the Sacramento Kings in talks created a primary around, again, those three players, a draft compensation of a first-round pick for Pascal Siakam. So that's basically what this report came out and said. Again, this is a lot better than sort of just the Harrison Barnes center deal. That was the only player and some garbage around it. Still not that great. I even said in that video where I called the Kings front office embarrassing for even asking that this package still wouldn't be enough. I guess if Pascal made it known that he doesn't want to be there, and then the Kings still want to talk in discussions, and maybe that's a reasonable offer, just given the expectation Pascal will leave in the offseason. I mean, fair enough, but frankly, that's not enough in return for the Toronto Raptors. I guess if we think he's going to leave for nothing, then it's not a horrible deal, because Davion Mitchell has some potential. Huerter has been good at times, has had a down year this season, and obviously Harrison Barnes can provide the 3-point spacing out there at the wing position, at the forward slot for this Raptors group. So not a completely worthless package, but relative to what Pascal Siakam provides in value, I mean, not really enough for me. I mean, this season his numbers continue to go up: 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. His 3-point percentage, if you notice, has increased drastically over the past few weeks, and now it's up to close to 31%. And the shooting in particular has been really crazy since that trade. I mean, look on the right side of this graph. Siakam's getting a lot more shots from the corner here now at this point. His attempts have gone up from 20% to 26% now, and that's been drastically increasing over the last 2 games in terms of corner threes attempted. And he's making over half of those 3-point attempts, over half of his corner threes. So Siakam, for all the trash that's been thrown at him in regards to his jump shot, he's been a lot better as a jump shooter as of late. And those percentages just continue to go up from each distance. I mean, the trade that just happened has really revamped, re-unlocked Pascal Siakam's 3-point shot. I mean, last season only getting assist on 85% of his threes, now up to 95%, or 97%, 97.5. I mean, keep this man. Just keep him, Masai Ujiri. Let's stop looking at these deals that are just kind of mid coming back to the Toronto Raptors, and let's just give him the contract. If it ends up being bad, he's not going to be a negative asset at that sort of money value. Teams would be interested in Pascal. So, I mean, the Suns were able to trade Bradley Beal and got years of first-round picks, of swaps and stuff for Bradley Beal. Pascal Siakam, unless he suffers a significant injury, which could happen to any max player in the NBA, he's not going to get that bad in terms of trade value. So make it happen, Masai. That's my call. But, unless you get some insane package in return. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys are the best to make it this far. Again, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.